This is the Sports Hounds Real Sports Bark Podcast, bringing you current events, news, NFL, NBA, MLB, soccer, UFC, boxing, and more. Make sure to hit us up on the website, thesportshound.com. And now, here's your host, Tixta.
What is up, everybody? It's me again, Tixta. This is episode 18, Super Bowl 53 edition of the Real Sports Bark Podcast, presented to you by the Sports Hound. Yes, we're going to dig into this one. Sunday is the big game out in Atlanta. We have the New England Patriots versus the Los Angeles Rams. The newly relocated NFL Rams came from St. Louis, came to LA, and now they're in the Super Bowl. Yeah, buddy, it's going down. So let's go ahead and get into this, man, and let's break this down on both sides of the ball, on both teams, pros, cons, what I see the outlook to be, and what I predict the final score to be. So let's get into this. We have Tom Brady entering his 9th Super Bowl of his career after taking down the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC Championship 2 weeks ago. Man, what can you say about this dude, man? Everybody want to try to say who's the GOAT, and it's going to come down between him with 5 rings, and you could throw in Terry Bradshaw with 4 rings, and Joe Montana with 4 rings. Some will say Montana, been to 4 Super Bowls, never lost. With that being said, Tom Brady, this is his 9th Super Bowl, but let's go back and look at the 8. The 8 Super Bowls, he have 5 wins and 3 losses in those Super Bowls, with the 3rd loss coming last year against the Philadelphia Eagles, which we seen that game. That game was a good one too. But now, this is Brady's 3rd straight Super Bowl these past 3 years, and he's going for that elusive. Well, I ain't gonna say elusive because there's no one with 6 rings in football. You feel me? Basketball, yes, Jordan has 6. You know, you got Robert Horry with 7, and not to mention other greats. You know that them put in the time and effort and got those rings too, though. But you know, what I mean, that's a different story. Let's get out of the NBA. We got to get to this NFL, man, because I get excited for the Super Bowl because it's the last game of the season and it's for all the marbles. You feel me? But back to Brady. Man, Brady just know how to get there and handle his business, man. I mean, there's not really much you can say. People want to throw in the fact that he did lose 3 Super Bowls, but to counter that with comparisons between Tom Brady and Mr. Joe Montana. Yes, Joe Montana has 4 rings undefeated in the Super Bowl. But Joe Montana at the same time has never been in 8 Super Bowls. You know, he got 4. So you can give him his credit that he's 4 for 4. But Brady's been to 8. It is very, very, very difficult to win a Super Bowl, let alone, make the game. There's been many who made the game and lost, which there's always a loser every year, the opposite of the winner. But it's hard, you know what I mean, to get back there. And for this man in his whole career to be in his 9th Super Bowl is more than just lucrative. It's I ain't gonna say lucrative because he hasn't won anything yet, but it's something you can't even really fathom because it's never been done, And football is one of those sports where the career is not long. For quarterbacks, you can play, but this dude is 41 years old, and it's very rare that a quarterback makes it to his 40s in the NFL just for one reason that I'm going to mention, and that's because the teams are always looking for that next one to take that old man veteran's place when he decides to give it up. Because he might wake up after the Super Bowl Monday morning and said, you know what, I'm content. Don't need the game no more. It's time to just ride off in the sunset with 6 rings and just call it a day. But he said he's not done, which I go along with that because if you've been in a sport and you gave it blood, sweat, and tears, and you're not ready to hang up the, you know what I mean, to hang up the helmet and the shoulder pads, keep playing, because when it's done, it's going to be done. You know what I mean? It's no turning back when you select retirement. But if you feel that you still have enough in the tank to give the game, all you have, and also to make, don't just play to play. We know the main goal is to win the Super Bowl championship, you know what I mean? But at the same time, the love is the other aspect of this. A lot of these dudes go that long because the love of the game. And it's like, we know it's like that love. It reminds me of, okay, like having kids. Your kids as an infant growing up, they're always around. You get to travel with them, do different things, show them different experiences. But then there's going to be that one day when your child goes off to college. You know what I mean? And it's like there's no turning back from that. It's time to move on. So while you still have it in your grasp, man, you better cherish that, and take advantage of it, because you're not given a lifelong athleticism or whatnot.
You want sports? We got it right here. This is the Sports Hounds Real Sports Bark Podcast.
There's going to be a day when you can't do it, even if you want to, that you can't. So why not just get to the point where you're just done with it mentally, as far as I'm done? Not because of injury, you know what I mean? Not because there's no team that wants to sign you because of your age and they're looking for the next young best thing. While the team is invested in you and they're willing to let you, because I seen it happen in basketball when Jordan, it was sad when after he won his sixth ring, his sixth championship in the NBA, it's like him and front office bumped heads. You know what I mean? It was like the front office was like, players don't win championships, management do. And Jordan like, wait a minute, you guys ain't out here putting in all the time and effort into practice to be great to win these rings. You know what I mean? And I think that relationship in Chicago ended prematurely, because I'm pretty sure Jordan was still good. Because as you know, he sat 2-3 years. He retired before he came back with the Wizards. So he still had it in him. You know what I mean? And you could have, God knows how long Chicago could have kept that together and still made championship runs and won rings. You know what I mean? But it was done, and that's what I'm getting to. You don't want to end your career prematurely, before it's time, before you're ready. You know what I mean? Not because you was forced into retirement because of injury or whatnot, or a team not investing in you anymore, but because you love the sport and you want to keep winning, and you still have the physical ability to do such. So Brady, in my eyes, is already the GOAT. He done made it, because, like I said, it is hard to even make the Super Bowl, and to do it now it's nine times in your career. My hat's off to him. But yeah, man. On his side of the ball, is the dude is brilliant when it comes to the playing the game. There's no defenses he hasn't faced, so it's like he already has mental notes of how to handle any situation. You know what I mean? You can have the best pass rusher in the game, and it's not going to matter, because this dude knows to kill a pass rush, get the ball out your hand that quick. Get it out your hand that quick, because by the time that the defense gets to you, the ball's gone. You know what I mean? And that wears the defense out, because they're going to keep trying it harder and harder, and they're going to try to get to you faster before you can get rid of that ball. So just a matter of the amount of effort they're going to put on every pass play on themselves. Fourth quarter, and especially Brady is spectacular when it comes to those 7-8 minute drives, keeping the other team's offense on the sideline. But the flip side of that team's offense on the sideline means that team's defense is playing a whole lot of minutes against Brady. And like I said, second half it's like, man, he can do what he want, because the defense is not going to put as much pressure on him, especially when the tank starts running on E, because you done went out there and like every drive this dude has is like killing you, especially if he comes out with points on the end of those drives. But yeah, man, this Brady, you got to appreciate this, because you know that it's even though he says he wants to keep playing, he's not playing until he's 50, 45 maybe. You know what I mean? Because it's going to come to a point where the winning stops, you know what I mean, because age or, you know what I mean. But that's neither here or there. That's a whole nother discussion when it's time to retire of why he retired. But right now, just enjoy it. It's just like when you with Jordan, you had to enjoy it. Even if you were rooting for him and you're rooting against him, you had to know you'll never see him again once he hangs it up. Same with Kobe. You know what I mean? Once Kobe Bryant came to that, it was time to go. You miss him. You know what I mean? You miss either booing him or cheering him, because he's one of the greats. He's gonna go down hands down, one of the greats, and it's like you're not gonna see him on that court no more, and it's kind of like it's gonna be strange, you know, especially if you're a fan of a certain player. You know what I mean? Even if you're not a fan of that player, you hate that player. Some of you may say good riddance, but it ain't the same as your team beating his team. You know what I mean? So you can get the bragging rights. You gotta enjoy this, man, because it's no here today, gone tomorrow. So anyway, what I see with Brady is, you know, it's going to be a lot of fast, you know, quick releases, getting it out of his hand because of the pass rush, the run game. To me, that's the one thing on this offense with New England that's not really mentioned that much though. But that run game New England has is sneaky good. You know what I mean? They're sneaky good. You're not really giving it no mind, but man, they're solid. You watch these dudes, man, and they get back there and they just give it to you. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's gonna be. I think key factor is gonna be the run game for New England this game, and I'm gonna throw it out there with, let's see, with the corners that the Rams have, they got real good corners. Secondary is good. Pressure up the front four is tremendous with getting pressure. So with the two corners the Rams have, the receivers should be pretty much in check. The only one I can see that could do damage in this Super Bowl, Edelman, I would say, because of the quick passes within the 5 yard, you know, little slants and coming across the middle and coming from the slot. He should have action at nicking, you know, nicking and cutting them all the way down the field that way if they really want to. Um, but I was Gronkowski. That's going to be the key, that tight end. Because the corners is going to be focused on the receivers, you know. But that tight end, that's going to be the wild card. Gronkowski is going to be the wild card. Him in the run game for New England. So that's what you're going to hear. For them to win, they have to have a run game that's going to keep the offense on the side. And Gronkowski is going to he should have a field day. You know what I mean? Because I think they're going to try to focus on Edelman just for the fact that he might not kill you with the deep play, but he can kill your ass underneath. You know what I mean? Especially if he can get past that first tackle and get a miss. He'll get a few yards under himself, you know what I mean, as far as the yards after the catch, you know. So short passes to him and yards after the catch. You know what I mean? What he can do after he catches the ball is going to be a telltale sign of how this game should go. So yeah, that's what I look for on New England's offense. That's how they're going to execute their defense. With Belichick's defensive mind, he's going to take away offense wise for the Rams. Okay, here we go. Belichick is going to probably scheme for the Patriots to go ahead and pay extra attention to Cooks. Since Cook has once been a New England Patriot, which he left the Patriots and went to the Rams, so they have a good idea of what this guy's weaknesses is, and Belichick will target that. Whatever his weakness is, they're going to target it and shut him down. So I think what is going to happen is they're going to force Goff to go to another target and probably lean more on Gurley being two-way as far as receiving and running. I don't think running is going to be a strong suit. I think what they should do is let C.J. Anderson get that ball and use his weight and try to wear New England's defense down. And then with Gurley, you just move them all over. You just use a skill set as far as, you know, running to the outside and using them as, you know, a receiver. because I think that will be the key for them. So I say and Gurley will be a key as far as using him multiple ways. CJ got to just take it up the gut. Just let him use that little bowling ball figure he got and bring it to him up the middle. You know what I mean? So you can wear him down that way. But Gurley, I don't think between the tackles, you know what I mean? I think New England is ready for that. They know how they use Gurley. So it makes it hard for you to stack the box. But Belichick, like I said, just as Brady has 5 rings and this is his 9th Super Bowl, Belichick was right there with him. So he didn't seen it all and game plan against it all. I mean, this is not even his first run. Matter of fact, they done faced the greatest show on turf with the Rams. Tuck Rule year. 2001, their first Super Bowl when they sure in the hell did. And that Rams team was way more offensively was way more tremendous than the Rams team this year. I think what the Rams have over that team is I think the Rams defense this year is better than that Rams defense back in 2001. So, yeah, man, that's right. This is the second time Brady done took on the Rams in the Super Bowl from both cities. See if he can beat them twice. That's a good one. So that's what we're looking for on that side of the ball. Like I said, let's finish off with the Rams with what I think the Rams is going to do. And like I said, I think what they should do, I ain't going to say what they're going to do. What they should do is move Gurley around. Try to get a mismatch somewhere. You know what I mean? And then take advantage of that. C.J. Anderson up the middle. Just bang them. Just bang them. Just grind them. Grind them. That's what you need to do. And then see if you can use like little rubs and stuff to get Cook open. Because they might drop a safety down in the box. I think they're not going to stack the box. I think New England think they can just scheme better to stop their run. But boy, this is gonna be a good little. That's why they got the New England Patriots favorite -3 on the spread in Vegas. So it's a close game. A field goal is what New England's giving up. So in the over and under is 57. So that's a lot of points, which I think it could happen because these last 2 games New England played in, first they had the Chargers, which they threw up 35 in the first half alone, and then against the Chiefs in overtime, they went ahead and I think they scored 38. So the points is out there. I think it'll go over 57. I just haven't picked a winner as far as who I think is going to win this Super Bowl because it's even. It's even. Brady got the experience. I think they can win. But the Rams, I don't see any fear in them. I don't think they understand the fear. I think they really got that swag about them where they really don't give a damn if it's Brady back there or who.
You want sports? We got it right here. This is the Sports Hounds Real Sports Bark Podcast.
On that defense, especially with those corners. Oh, man, I'm getting, like I said, I get excited for this. So, with the Rams, I think they're going to, on defense, they know Brady's going to try to get the ball out of their hands quick. So, what you want to do is, I don't know if they want to play man coverage and get up on the line and jam them up. Because if you can get up on the line and put some hands, see, and here's the thing, though. If you try to jam Cooks, and he can get off that first contact at the line, you got to have that safety. Yeah, I think they're going to try to double Cooks for real. I think they're going to use the safety in a corner on Cooks. Because if Cooks happen to bust off of the line after first contact with the DB and the DB doesn't have great speed, he's going to be open. But if you keep that safety on top to keep that lid closed, you know what I mean, so they can't bust that lid open with that speed and stretch that field, that might be the key, what New England might try to do against the Rams defense. So, what the Rams should do, like I said, might try to get some rubs out there to try to free up Cooks. You might have to hit Cooks on some short passes and let him do the rest. Let him use his athleticism to break tackles and take it to the house, because they're not gonna let that dude beat them deep. They can't afford to do that at all. New England can't afford to let Cooks just go wild on them. So I can see that happening. And then Goff has to be on his game. He has to be able to recognize which receiver is open, make that decision, and get rid of that ball. Because New England got some good pass rush too. Don't you overlook them, because like I said, the way Belichick schemes, he knows where to put the right person in the right place on defense, because they do something all the time. Like, for instance, you remember when New England took on, when they 2 years ago, against the Atlanta Falcons, and Atlanta just came out the gate. I thought New England was going to get blown out. But then after they went in at halftime, Belichick made his adjustments, and Atlanta didn't score another point. They did not score another point. And Brady and them just came out there and threw up the points and won the game. That's how they got that Super Bowl a couple of years ago against Atlanta. They sure the heck did, man. And then yeah, man, it's gonna be a chess match. I look forward to seeing this matchup. You got a young, innovative McVay at coach for the Rams against old school, tough as nails, no smiling, straight to business Belichick, and his sidekick, Mr. Tom Brady. We got two Bay Area quarterbacks in the Super Bowl facing each other, man. So here go the East Coast, West Coast. So we gonna see what happens, man. This is gonna be a tremendous game. I look forward to it. Yeah, and I look forward to these commercials too, because it's been a while since I've seen a good Super Bowl commercial. And yeah. So Sunday in Atlanta, the Mercedes-Benz Arena is going down Sunday. Super Bowl LII 53. Who's gonna be the winner? What's your take? Go ahead, leave a comment. Tell us who you think. Is it gonna be New England and Brady getting his 6th ring in his 9th attempt? Or is it going to be the LA Rams, who made that journey from St. Louis, setting up shop in the West with a brand new arena opening next year for them in LA? Beautiful, beautiful football stadium in Inglewood that they're putting up, man. And this is going to be a good one. Young versus the old. New quarterback, new coach, making it to the Super Bowl on their first attempt. Not their first attempt, but their first time going up against these old school cats, man. So old school versus new school. Who's gonna take home the trophy? You know what I mean? Who's gonna get MVP of the game? If the Rams win the Super Bowl, the MVP will be both quarterbacks. Whichever team wins the Super Bowl, the quarterback is getting the MVP, hands down. Hands down. That's what I can see happening. So, y'all buckle up. Get your grill out. Get your beer. Get your little finger foods, your little, your party wings and your fried, whatever you want to fry. You know what I mean? A lot of people get down with a lot of different stuff. You get the mozzarella sticks, the fried mozzarella sticks, and I hope you guys enjoy. Hope you have a safe and happy weekend. I don't know what team y'all are rooting for, but go ahead, like I said in the comments, leave the team that you feel is going to win the Super Bowl. Matter of fact, leave a score too. Leave a score. Let's do that. And hell, whoever is the closest with the outcome and predicts the right team, I'll send you off a Real Sports Bark podcast t-shirt. and leave you. And when I contact you, we'll take care of everything, and I get your size and address you want it shipped, and yeah, free shirt. So enjoy the Super Bowl, be safe, and I'm out.
Thanks for checking out the Sports Hounds Real Sports Bark podcast. For more exclusive content, follow us on all social media. Twitter, SportsHound 24/7. Instagram, SportsHound Media. Facebook, SportsHound Media. And on the website at thesportshound.com. And tell your damn friends about the hottest sports podcast on the web.